fellow miniature playing followers and players. Um, as I said, I will be trying to make a few more battle reports here. I had a game against Orion yesterday. I lost approximately 0-20 or something like that. It wasn't a very interesting game, so I decided to. Well, it was an interesting game, but it was just very one-sided. So I decided to shift to this one here instead. This is the next game I played. It's against the it's also my demotion game for Fading Flame. So if I lose it, I will go down one bracket. If I win, I will maintain my in the bracket which I am currently in. So quite the high stakes we have in this game here. My opponent is the I think he's Polish. The Polish he's called Tommy Relax. Brilliant, nice guy with the Chaos Infernal. With a Chaos Infernal list. And I just have to say that I don't play too much against Infernal Dwarfs. I really like the special rules about them. I think they're very thematic and pretty awesome. And I got a taste of just how scary the war machines are. Jesus moly. Holy moly. Yeah, but just a quick word about the list here. He went with the Prophet. I think it's probably a very standard Infernal Dwarf list without knowing it. Piracy, right? Tablet of something. I think this is the one that turns ones into threes, which is awesome. An absolutely awesome book. I mean, if you roll 1/1, you get 2+ to your cast roll. It's absolutely beastie. And then he has the alchemy, an alchemy and a pyroman master. So you just have this flaming show, right, where you throw out flammable tokens and you put fire in people. And then you have the classic Vasir, the BSB, on a bull of Shamut, flying guy, right? Shoots a little bit. Only 2+ armor save. And a 5+ ward, so he's definitely killable, right? He's a killable PSP. And then he double up on the Citadel Guards. I mean, these guys are just incredibly beastie. 3+ armor save, flintlock axes, and strength 5 attacks. They are absolutely awesome. Obviously also very, very expensive, right? 24 of these guys is 660 points. And then some Infernal Dwarf with the Blunderbusses, strength 5, AP 3 hits, nasty guys. Not as nasty as the Citadel Guards, I think, though, but yeah, nasty. 28 Disciplines of Loga, great weapons. Nasty looking unit on the paper here, but as people know, we are in a meta, right, where you have a lot of 1+ rerollable guys running around. And they often also, exactly, if you take a look at my carrier Lord here, right? He's Dodge Ford and Dragonfire Jim, right? 1+ rerollable, safe again, 3+ up against fire. I think the Discipline of Logos is a really good, nice unit, but it's just that there's something that are really popular, and well, in my opinion, OP, right? It's very popular. So they are in a tough place just by the surrounding meta. 15 Discipline of Logos, a flank unit. I'm not really sure. I don't think they fit in the list, to be honest. But 15 of these guys, and then a double artillery here and 5 vessel cavalry here. So shooty list. Almost everything has shooting attacks apart from the Discipline of Loga. And then my list here. This is a list I've been playing quite a lot recently. I really like it. I feel like it's really strong. And it's fun. It doesn't have too many defensive tools, but it has a lot of offensive tools. And it goes with the Orc Warlord on Iron Orc Loner, Resilience 6. This guy is just one hell of a beast. Resilience 6, 7 Strength 5 attack with AP 2, and then 1 plus rerollable armor save. He just runs into whatever he runs into, and if they don't have killing blow or fear, then he's probably gonna be stuck with those guys forever or whenever until he loses his leadership check, right? Another Warlord in a unit, which is something I haven't done too much, but I think maybe I did it in my last battle report. So maybe it's exactly the same. Is this an identical list I played to the last battle report? It could be. Double giants, Ganuk, goblins. You know what? I'm just gonna have a quick look. Is it identical? YouTube, yeah. Could be. Yeah, it's it's identical. So if you're curious about my list here, go check out my previous video. It's called Orc and Goblins versus Warriors of Chaos, and then I won't talk more about the list here. Yeah, so next on to the game. So as mentioned, it's the demotion and promotion game for Tommy. Game of the Fading Flame. We're playing what was it? Secure Target, I think. Yeah, we're playing Secure Target and Dawn Assault. So I get to roll side first, and I pick the top side here because this will give me the hill here and the impossible terrain down here to try and hide my characters from his war machines. And so he decided to go drop for first. He drops everything very much on the center, but a little bit to the left with 26. These are logos. These are logo disciplines, I should say. These are Citadel Guards, and these are Blunders, the Infernal Warriors, I think they're called. And this is the small unit of the Logos Disciples, the 2 cannons, and another unit of Citadel Guards on the flank here. And these are my Veteran Orcs, my Feral Orcs, Ferals, Giant Lord, Lord on the Shaman on the Wyvern, and some Goblins here. And the Shaman down here, and then and another Chariot here. I will say though, up till now I've been playing a lot of the scrap wagons, but lately I've been trying out the Goblin Chariots instead. Same price, basically does the same thing, and it's the fact that you can move around, you can control the unit a whole lot better. It's just it's probably supreme to the Snodling Wagon here. So, but also just because in case I read something, run into something nasty, the Goblin Witch, he can jump into the Chariot unit and feel a little bit more safe here. So he deployed here. Oh, if I just mention magic real quickly, I'm running Witchcraft with the Shaman, which is a deliberate choice for me to try and stop gun lines. I think these two lines, they what do you call it? Suit each other really well, complement each other really well. Particularly if you don't have a master, but only have a few spells. I only have 2 adapts, right? So there's sort of like 2 sort of setups. If you're running against the gun line, you can pick the what's it called, Fengis Master or whatever, so they can shoot, and you can pick the Chilling Hall, which is very good against gun lines, right? And then if you're not playing against, and then you have 2 buff spells at the same time. And if you're not playing against gun lines, you can just pick 4 buff spells, which I think is good. And they don't have magic missiles. This is a weakness, but the whole army doesn't have any shooting. But they have a lot of units, so they're probably still good against avoidance armies anyway. So I don't feel I missed the shooting too much. I do have 40 feral logs with bows, just a little bit, and the 3 headhunters and 8 and the 12 Gatok. So this is not, it's not without shooting, but the shooting phase is not too strong. Anyway, enough talking here. He obviously just picks a lot of magic here. Some a lot of buff spells. No magic missiles. I was a little surprised that he left the magic missiles out, and instead he went with the ember, the one that hits a whole unit. But I guess I wouldn't. I have 2 big blocks, right? So the overall feeling about this matchup here is actually pretty negative. Particularly after the game here, because these war machines, they just, if they get one good turn, they just tear apart a whole unit. Not a whole unit, but a half unit. And it's not even unlikely that they do it. I mean, if this Titan mortar hits my veteran orcs with the flaming sword, then he wounds on 3s. Rerollable, right? I mean, he's gonna do on average probably something like between 14 and 15 wounds. That's really strong. And he hits on a 3, so it's at 4. So sort of the only condition for him to do this is just him getting Flamer sword through and hitting with it. Which is really nice. I think it's a really nice piece of war machine. And then he has the other, not too good against me, but I mean, it's not bad against me, but I can play around it. I picked the terrain, and it's easier to hide single characters. So that one wasn't too dangerous for me. Obviously, I have a lot of single characters and giants and chariots and stuff, but I felt like it was manageable. But don't get me wrong, it hit hard. So I got off on a tangent there. He goes for the first turn. We put the objective here and here. I decided to deploy the objective right down in the deepest corner I can find, and he decided to put it in the middle to like play around this area here, right? That's the idea, I suppose. Oh, and I should say I also ambush. I ambush 1 unit of wild boars, feral or marauders. If I were to say something about my deployment here, I hide my lord behind a giant. So I'm planning on giving up a giant turn 1 to get my lord to safety somewhere around here. And hopefully he can threaten the flanks here or the best thing he can do is see if he can find a charge on these logos, 26 logo disciplines with a great weapon. I think he will do really good into that, because he's 4+ up, 3+ up save, and he's resilience 6. So he can probably tank these guys for quite some time if he runs into these guys. Else, I put up my characters, my shaman and my witchcraft outside of range from his artillery cannon, and my Viven outside of range from the mortar cannon, because it has clip wings, right? And I make sure that I can fly within an area, so I can use chilling halls for my mage here. That was basically just the ideas here, and then the 2 blocks in the middle here to try and fight his blocks, and then I will have my feral marauders here to try and win the flank. And then the idea is that I would come in here with my another feral marauder units and just be overwhelming, threatening him, but that's not the case at all. They're just too far away from the battlefield, and it was just a really bad idea to decide to go scout with go ambush with these guys. I think they would have been way better over here. But anyway, it is what it is. So just straight into turn 1 here. Oh, that's strain 2. So he moves forward, pretty much everything, getting ready to shoot me down. Uh, and indeed, shoot me down he does. His first turn here, I wasn't quite aware how dangerous a flaming sort of whatever flaming sword it was, and I think I tried to stop another spell instead of that one. I think it was some sort of spell on my giant. Maybe it was a spear spike, or it was something that was a little bit dangerous. Oh, it was the ambush to hit my units. The ambush guy, right? So I decided to stop that one and give him flaming. And when I did that, this was the result, right? So this is my turn 2, and so he got the flaming sword off. So he killed 15 veterans in turn 1, and 1 giant. So happy turn 1, right? Oh, he didn't kill the giant. He put it to, I think he gave 4 wounds or 5 wounds. I can't quite remember. Maybe it was just 4 wounds. But and then I decided to park it down here in the impossible terrain because I thought I got hard cover, but obviously I completely forgot that gigantic models don't get hard cover. So I threw away a giant here and potentially a leadership check here on leadership 7, right? So that was really stupid. In any case, on the other flank here, I feel like I'm advancing really well. My Vivian here, he finds whatever. It finds a really nice spot here where I can hide for the Titan cannon here. But I can see, I think this is not the final move. I'm moving down a little bit here, a little bit further back. So I can see like an angle to around here. So the discipline Logas, they can see me, but they can't flee from me, right? So he has to fight my Vivian here or whatever. And then the Vivian is really in a good position to find a really nice flank attack here with the Feral Marauders as well. I move up my Feral Orcs here. Maybe I should have moved them up. Or was it because I think there was some reason why I couldn't move them up 8 inches. I'm not really sure what it was actually. Oh yeah, the idea was that I didn't want to get charged because he's higher initiative than me, right? So I just moved them up to a beautiful 11, or was it a 12? And then I was just planning on calling walk the next turn and hope I will get my 8. Yeah. And I moved the veterans into the field to get some cover. And I move. Oh, and here's something else happening that's really nice for me. My lord, my loner, he gets a chance to run right up in the face of these logger disciplines here. So he doesn't really have a choice anymore, right? He can't. He has to charge here. Oh, I made a mistake here actually. I placed this guy here a little bit too straight. I should have aligned myself more with these discipline of logos here. So now his Visar can actually charge me here and still be able to fit. If I place them a little bit more to the if parallel with his units here and still in the front, then he wouldn't be able to fit his model into my front arc, and that would have been the correct play, I think. But anyway, I probably wouldn't mind him charging me anyway. So yeah, and I kind of panic here, right? Because my giant was just vanished from the board on turn 1, and half my veterans was vanished as well. So I decided to just push my giant forward here and generate some sort of pressure play here. And that was sort of the idea here. Yeah, and I create a small corridor here so my chariot can actually go through here. So if his wolves are coming to chaff or something in this area here, I can charge with my chariot instead of my veteran orcs, and so I can use I can go, because if he chaps me, right, I'm probably gonna have to. He's probably gonna do it so I have a flank charge on them. So I'm gonna have to turn my veteran orcs to face this way here. So I would rather wanna just be able to reform them and then just walk them forward, and then have the chariot to do the fighting for me on the chaff side here. So that's why I opened up the little hole in here. And what else did happen? I think that was about it. Yeah. So he's turn 2. Yeah, he decides to go for the charge. So here he decides to go into the my lord with his disciples, and he also decides to go into my vermin with his disciples. I get chilling hall off, which was really big, right? I get the boosted version off, so all his units is -1 to hit right now, -1 to wound right now. So that's really nice. That's a really big thing, right? And so if I stop flaming sort of ruin, right, then he's suddenly wounds me on 5s instead, and he's not flaming anymore, so you don't get to reroll anymore. It's just really good. It's just really good to get that. And I think I rerolled 5 dice each, and I rolled like really high. So I was pretty lucky on that one. He gets the charge on my Vivian here. I'm actually not too scared about this charge here, I think, because this unit over here has paired weapons AP1, and I have Essence of Mithril, so I'm armor 3, I'm armor 2, I'm armor 3 after AA armor piercing. His wizards are outside of range to buff these guys, and yeah, I think it's just a fine combat for me actually. He is stubborn, right, but steadfast, but that's about it. But I have fear, so it's a leadership 8. Yeah, but I think that's about it. And then he does go and chaff me here, which I was happy about. Whether or not I predicted or not, but I at least made a counterplay for it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, and he moves his Versailles here down to prepare for a potential ambush from my Nogox. Yeah, and then he do some magic. Can't quite remember actually what sort of magic it was, but oh yeah, he gives these guys a reroll, some sort of reroll to hit or wound, and then he flames me right now. This combat here, I won the combat on the first turn of the charge. I managed. He rolled a 10 on the flea on his discipline check here, break test. He fails it, and I overrun him. I catch him. And now I'm in a really nice position with this Vivian here, right? I can charge his Vizier in the back. I can charge his Citadel Guards in the flank with his 2 mages down here. Very, very nice. Here on the left side flank here, I managed. He doesn't do any wound to me, and I do like 1 or 2 wounds to him, and I pass my break test. So what the picture we're looking at right now is my turn 2, right? So I overrun them in his turn 1 or his turn 2. And then I'm here, right? So, and I decide here to call walk here. We have to remember that these guys are actually here at the start of my turn, right? And he decides to call walk. Or I decide to walk right here. Because my wizard, I think he need a 9 to hit these guys in the flank. And if I manage to hit these guys in the flank, then I will have 2 turns. I will have 1 more turn to set up my charges appropriately. To charge this unit here, and his Vizier cannot do anything really except from chaff me, and that's just really good. So I decided to call war cry here and charge here, and I also decided to charge my with my my wildborns here. Yeah, I think he made a mistake here. He wasn't quite aware of the distance between his infernal warriors and my feral marauders. So my feral marauders, they were just on the top of the hill, and then they could charge these infernal warriors in the flank with, I think it was like 14 inches or so. And obviously they declared a charge, and he decides to flee, which is just really nice for me, right? It's a lot of strength 5 shooting I take off the table for a while. And then I also decide to no, I decide against this. I was thinking here if I should charge with my Pharaoh Rocks here as well. They needed like a 9 with maximized charges, right? So the idea was that if I could charge with these guys and my Vivian, and then I would be able to break steadfast and I would hit him real hard, which I thought was good. But I decided if I fail the charge and I roll low and I have to wield, I won't even get an inch on him. I will still be as far away as I was last turn, and then I would not be have maximized charge next turn, and then I would possibly also fail the next turn's charge. So I decided to play the safe way, to not declare charge with these and just walk up 8 inches with them and get closer to him and have a more short charge, right? And have the Vivian just hold them for 1 turn. And that was the idea. So what ended up happening was that these guys just moved a little bit, this guy charged, and these guys failed charge because there's no other targets. But this guy here, he has 4 dice, right? Maximum charged on his first stride, and he needs a 9, I think it was, or maybe it was even just an 8, but he fails it. He failed to charge, sadly, and now my wizard here, he's very exposed to nasty engine up here, mortar cannon with clipped wings. Not gonna lie. My Vivian here, he needs a miracle here to survive, I think. Well, we see how it goes. Anyway, my boards also get in. Sadly, my Neox doesn't get in, don't get in. Which is kind of sad, right? Because I feel like if I put him down here, I think they could do decent damage to this guy here. They could probably even kill him. Not in the turn, not in 1 turn, but they could certainly probably give him a wound or 2. Maybe just 1 wound, but anyway. And what else happens this turn here? I think that's about it this turn here, right? So a failed charge. It was actually a pretty bad turn for me. I think this could have been a really big swing for me, but it just didn't go my way here. So also he killed my giant here, and I decided to. This giant here had only 1 wound left, and I decided to call a charge with him on the logo guards to help my lord to fight. But he fails 1 dangerous terrain test and dies. Yeah. So my turn 2 combat goes something like, I kill the vessels here. I stay here when we fight on. He still haven't done a single wound to me here. He's rolling a little bit bad here, but I'm also not doing a whole lot to him. And I managed to get off the one that says that you can't shoot. So my wizard is a little bit more safe here right now. If he misses the mortar cannon, I'm very happy. If he hits me, I'm not so happy. But I mean, this was the best thing I could do, I think. I mean, if the artillery cannon hits me, I'm just auto dead. What else happens? Yeah, so he's kind of pressured now, right? He rallies the infernal warriors. He sets up the ready for counter charge with his vizier here, and moves back a little bit and just gonna enjoy his last round of shooting before I'm gonna reach his back line here, right? And then he advances these citadel guards here to prepare to move down to the objective here, or do a flank charge on this guy here. And then he does some magic. I don't think it's a whole lot happens his turn, right? He does a little bit of magic, but nothing of real importance. Oh yeah, he buffed this unit here up really well. But he gets a small version of Word of Iron off and Cinder's cloak, so they're really tanky right now. But I'm like okay with that, because that was not the idea why I wanted the Vivian to turn charge in here. I wanted him to hold the unit so I could set up the other units. Yeah. And so this turn here, I charge it, right? And I do some fun things here actually. So if you look here, this chariot here decides to charge his vizier down here, and the Vivian decides to charge here, and the Ferrologs decide to charge this unit here as well. And then I do something pretty interesting here. I decide to not focus on this part of the map anymore, which is seems I'm doing right. I decide to turn these guys around to go for the objective out of nothing. I feel like it was. I think he was a little bit surprised by this move. So I decided to turn these guys around, prepare for a charge on these guys next turn, and then hopefully get my ambush units, my talks up here, and start shooting him, and then move my wolves over here and start shooting this unit here, and pop my headhunters, and then I will start shooting this unit here, and attack this unit here. So I will completely destroy this flank here, be safe from his war machines, and hopefully be able to secure the objective. And maybe I will lose one unit, maybe I will lose this unit or this unit, and my mage and my 2 chariots. But I think it should be enough if I kill the Discipline of Lugos and the Citadel Guards over here and just take the objective, and then I win. Because all I needed was a win to not get demotion, right? Demoted, right? You didn't need to. I didn't need 20 points or anything. I just needed a win. So I decided this is probably the right play to go for here. As you can see here, I set up my wolves here. I get my Gatox in from the ambush, and I prepare here with the Vivian here. I mean, like it's not like things could have gone wrong, right? I mean, like my Vivian here, he could just lose combat, and then he would get a free flank charge into my veteran here. I do put my lords here to sort of ensure myself against that, but that was about the best I could do against it, right? But he doesn't get ranks because he's a horde formation. I get a flank charge and a flank charge, right? And so he's basically he only has a banner, and that's it. So he only has one. So I'm almost certain of winning the combat. I get the charge. It's a 10. I need to hit this guy here down here with my chariot here, and I'm like, if I get some sort of boosting thing up on my chariot, particularly Awaken the Beast, because I mean he can probably not afford to try and stop Awaken the Beast, because I'm going to be pressing his war machines again. I'm going to be using I think he just has to let Awaken the Beast go through, and then I can use it on this guy down here, right? And then I get impact hits D6 plus 1 strength 6. Impact hits AP3, and he's only resilience 5, 2 up, 5 up. Definitely possible to kill this guy here with that charge. And even my goblins on the chariot, 3 attacks with 5 AP3. Definitely possible, right? But we'll see how it goes. Magic, and this is a brilliant magic face off here. I get a crazy magic face here. If we just jump to his turn here, right? Tommy's turn 4 here. As you can see here, I get out the Fangus, or whatever, efficient, the spell that makes them unable to shoot on these guys here. I'm not sure if that was the correct choice. I get off Chilling Hall on the Mortar Cannon, and I get off Awaken the Beast on my Chariot, and I think I get one more, I get 3 spells off, which is very nice, right? Yeah, and my Chariot dies. Yeah, I charge him. I roll a 6 on impact hits, so I do 7 impact hits, strength 6, and I manage to only do 2 wounds, which he saves one of them or something. I managed to only do 1 wound to this guy here, and he just kills me straight up. That was sad. That was so sad. The combat over here, the Logos finally managed to do some wounds on my lord here. He does 2 wounds, and before that, I move up here and I shoot these citadel guards. Right, I shoot like 3 of these guys. I think I get 3 of these guys with full shooting, which is fine. Because I mean, like if he charges these guys here, they're still gonna get stand and shoot. And I have paired weapons and same initiative as he, AP1. So I mean, even if he charges, I will be able to kill a few of these guys, and hopefully my wolves will be able to finish him off the next turn then. Yeah, and my feral marauders down here, they decide to march into the forest, fail 3 dangerous terrain tests, and run around and flee again and do some more dangerous terrain tests. So these guys were the epically useless ambush units so far. What else happens here? Yeah, so his turn here, right? So he charges, obviously he charges my Vivian here in the flank. Turns around with his citadel guards here, and then obviously he's gonna do a challenge. And so I'm gonna be losing the combat by like 5, almost certainly, right? So my shaman is almost certainly dead here, right? And let's just see here, yeah. So he's turned 4. He managed to kill my shaman. He runs, he do the overrun, and he fails. If he rolled a 6 with his, if he rolled an 8 with his citadel guards, he would have gotten a overrun into my feral orcs here. But he fails that. So now I can get a flank charge in on, if you see here. These guys are placed here, right? So, and his citadel guards here. So if you fail this overrun here, I can do a flank charge on these guys here, which seems like a really good thing for me. So I managed to get the flank charge off here, and as I mentioned last year, I decided to change focus, and my lord here, he's keeping these guys busy, and then I easily get a flank charge in on these guys. Oh, he's turned to look at me. So I get an easily charge on him here. My lord, what his 8 attacks, 28 I think. He's gonna do a decent amount of wounds to these guys. And I get another round of shoe, and I get a chariot in as well for impact hits, right? So this logo unit here is definitely probably gonna die. And next, yeah, so his turn here. He charges, right? Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so he charged, right, my feral orcs with, and he had 2 wounds left, I think. And I think he rolled double one on his save. I do 3 wounds. I chose spears, and I do 3 wounds to him, and he fails like miserably, and he dies. Obviously, I managed to kill the logo guards here. Now the game is kind of over here, and if I recall correctly, we agree because he forgot he had a meeting, so we decided to just walk through the last part of the game and just call it a game over here, because I did my shooting phase here. I also managed to kill I think it was like 12 Lugo guards, so there's only 4 left. So they don't really pose any threat to me anymore on the flank there either. He's infernal warriors here. They can't reform properly, so he only has 4 shots here. Yeah, and my feral orcs here in the front of with the citadel guards here, preparing. My feral orcs are preparing to charge these guys afterwards if something happened. But overall, I win the objective, and I'm still up. I think we're very even on points. And so we just agreed to call it here. But overall, a really nice game, I feel. Very interesting game here. And as I mentioned, these war machines are just utterly nasty. I mean, in 2 turns, he killed 20 veteran orcs and 2 giants. In 2 turns with 2 machines. And also a little bit of shooting here and there. But it's just really nasty. It's just really nasty. But anyway, thank you for watching here, and hope you enjoyed it.